If you think we need a left wing with liberals and progressives who do not alienate voters through purity testing, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. I believe we need more accessible messaging combined with sweeping policy that can truly transform this country and change this terrible political culture that we currently have. So pretty much Bernie Sanders put up a tweet saying that Elon Musk is right, talking about DOGE. He says the Pentagon has a huge budget of like $900 billion. And he wants to work with Elon Musk to cut that budget. And I think Bernie Sanders is trying to be an opportunist. Bernie Sanders understands if there is a power vacuum or a policy window, you need to jump in it. You need to make sure you make the most out of it. I'm going to use Kyle Kulinski's reaction to react off of, like a typical YouTuber would do. And I love Kyle. So,
guys, a little bit of controversy online. Our boy Bernard Sanders is in some hot water from something he said the other day. So look at this. He says, Elon Musk is right. The Pentagon, with a budget of $886 billion, just failed its 7th audit in a row. It's lost track of billions. Last year, only 13 senators voted against the military-industrial complex and a defense budget full of waste and...
Let me predict Kyle's argument really quick. I think the argument is going to be, force Donald Trump to do something populist. So they talk about capping credit card interest, which there's arguments against that would actually hurt poor people, because if you cap credit card interest, then people would go for loan sharks that have like 200% APR instead of 30%. But anyways, if there's something that sounds populist, like reining in big corporations, or helping solve the opioid epidemic, or, you know, cutting the budget of the Pentagon or our defense budget, the argument's going to be Bernie Sanders should push for that. If it's possible, hold them accountable on it. Make Donald Trump actually follow through on these very minor populist promises that Donald Trump pretends to be for. That's what I'm gonna guess. That's the argument that Kyle's gonna make. I'm gonna guess that's the argument Bernie Sanders has, because that's Bernie Sanders. That's his typical strategy with these kinds of things.
Fraud. That must change. So what he's saying is, hey, if DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, is going to advise Trump, you better cut military spending, I agree with cutting military spending, and that's why he led the tweet with Elon Musk is right. Now, this is also something he said. He said something similar about...
It's also clickbait. You know, Elon Musk is right. It is a form of clickbait. And Bernie Sanders never misses a chance. And this is something I think Democrats need more of. Democrats need more shameless branding. And it's not even branding. Bernie Sanders never misses a chance to talk about issues he cares about. He never misses a chance to bring it back to his values and to bring it back to what he wants to see happen in government. And you got to respect him for it. And people do respect him. They see him as genuine. And he also does what he can do. If Hillary's running, he supports Hillary. If Biden's running, he supports Biden. If Elon Musk and Donald Trump are co-president, he'll probably try to work with them to push Bernie Sanders' ideas, which is something Bernie's really, really good at. Love him or hate him, disagree or agree with that strategy, Bernie always does it.
Capping interest rates that banks can charge the other day, he said, I agree with President Trump. We should cap the interest rates at 10%, and I'm happy to work with him on that issue, right? And that one was a little bit of a controversy, but I feel like this is an even bigger controversy. And let me just show you. Here's the...
Yeah, because Elon Musk is not president. So why are you talking to Elon Musk about this? I mean, if you're going to, I don't know, maybe it reinforces the idea that Elon Musk is shadow president. Because if we pretend like Elon Musk isn't president, although he's in the Oval Office and he's on foreign policy calls, maybe that hides it for him. Maybe we need to treat it like it is the oligarchy we're talking to. I don't know. I'm not really sure about that messaging strategy of talking directly to Elon Musk, talking to him as if he's president.
Reaction of some of these.
Oh, wait, but that could make Trump mad. That could make Trump really mad, bro. If people just talk to Elon Musk and to JD Vance, that might make Trump really mad. That might make the ego battle even worse.
Right-wing goofballs. Ready?
Oh, great.
Matt Gaetz comes in. Welcome home, Bernie. Colin Rugg says, glad you realized Elon Musk is not the problem. The problem is the federal government, which has wasted and lost trillions of dollars of taxpayer money.
And here you're going to see all the conservatives jump on this to try and use it to their political benefit.
Lex Friedman, happy to see this. This other dude, are we uniting or are you about to get canceled by the left? And Wokeness says, has hell frozen over? Alan Jacoby says, is this part of the realignment I keep hearing about? So a couple things here. First of all, the idea that literally anybody on the planet would express shock at the idea that Bernie Sanders is in favor of cutting the military budget is laughable. This was his opinion probably back in fucking 1970 whatever. He has always had this position. That has been on the record, crystal clear, obvious for everybody to see if you give a shit about the specifics. So the reaction from some of these people is amazing to me. Like, do you guys not know anything about politics?
They don't care, bro. They know everything. They know. They lie. They don't care. They seize upon political power. They really do not care at all what reality is. They talk about things they care to talk about. They only talk about things that are going to get them power. They know all this stuff. They know Bernie Sanders is not doing this because he supports Elon Musk. They know Bernie hates corrupt cronyism. They know that. But right-wingers know how to jump on everything to use it for their own advantage.
Did you not realize that Bernie Sanders has always been in favor of this? My guess is they just see that first line that says Elon Musk is right, and they're like, yes, yes.
Okay, they can also be dumb, but I think they're lying. I do think they are being dishonest.
Worship the people I worship, agree with the people I agree with, yes, and then we'll welcome you into the fray, yes. All right, now here's the thing. What is Bernie trying to do here? My guess is what Bernie's trying to do is effectively call their bluff, right? So,
okay, I predicted Kyle's argument. I did not watch this earlier. I did not watch it already, I promise. I knew Kyle Kulinski was going to be using that argument. David Duncan, haha, and you guys don't. Literally right now on liberal media, MSNBC and CNN is tearing Joe Biden a new one for pardoning Hunter Biden after running no stories on how Donald Trump pardoned literal war criminals that slaughtered civilians, that Trump pardoned predators, that Trump pardoned the worst financial fraudsters of all time. They ran no stories on that. Right now, Democrats are eating their own party alive. No, Democrats don't jump on things that are good politically. You can talk to Kamala campaign staffers, and they will tell you that donors and Democratic Party leaders told them to pull down ads that were too negative against rich people and that sounded too mean because they didn't want to offend anyone. So no, Democrats don't grab political power wherever they want or wherever they can. If they did do that, Donald Trump would have lost by 15 million votes every election he ran in so far. And he would not have been running against Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris. He would have had actual competition.
So when he says to Trump, I agree, let's cap interest rates at 10%. Well, Trump's not going to do that. And then Bernie's going to come out and say, what happened? I guess you're a fucking liar. I guess you're a hypocrite. You said you wanted to do this. You didn't do this. I'm still in favor of it. You abandoned it. You're a hack. You abandoned the working class. That's what he'll do, right? On this one, he said, hey, you want to cut the Pentagon? Absolutely. I'll cut the Pentagon with you. Sounds awesome, right? And then they're not going to do it. Even if Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy and DOGE give advice to Trump, because it's just an advisory board, this DOGE thing, it's not a real government agency. Even if their report says, definitely cut the Pentagon, Trump's not going to do it. Well, how are you so certain, Kyle? The best predictor of future action is past action.
Everything Trump ever did. But here is the overall thing about Democrats. I think right now, especially with Elon Musk being co-president, being shadow president, right now Democrats can draw such a stark contrast between themselves and Republicans. But Democrats need to actually have principles. And Republicans have zero principles. I need to make sure I say that because I don't want to sound like I'm supporting them in any way. But Democrats need to be principled against Trump. Be anti-corruption. Pass bills that limits money in politics, targeting Elon Musk's super PACs. Right now, even if you are someone who's worth $1 billion, you can be a class hero because Elon Musk is going to be a trillionaire soon, bro. He's going to be a trillionaire. Even a regular billionaire now is being priced out of power bargaining, that level of society. So Democrats need to be so against corruption, so against monopolies, so against Congress members buying stock, or members of the House or Senate buying stock. Democrats need to be for all of these policies and push for them and hold Trump accountable. Drain the swamp? Okay, we're going to drain the swamp and really be about transforming the system. The system is about to transform in ways we cannot imagine, and Democrats need to make sure that change is in an anti-corruption direction, not what Trump is doing right now, which is pro-corruption. But my big concern is I think Democrats are more willing to let the system fall apart than they are willing to do progressive changes. I don't think they want Bernie Sanders to take control of the party. I think they'd rather hold on to the party and lose 15 more elections rather than advocate for true systemic change, which is very consistent with liberal parties throughout every revolution. We're in the middle. We're going through a revolution right now. It's a modern revolution. It's not going to be the same as a revolution was in 1920 or whatever, or the 1800s, but we are going through a revolution right now. There are revolutionaries in charge of every aspect of our government, and they will be taking power come this January. They are revolutionaries. We are in a revolution, and we need to act like it.
Trump was president before for 4 years. He increased the military budget every single time.
I like Tim Walz. I don't think Tim Walz is ruthless enough about getting power to run for something like president. He really is too nice for politics, to be honest. There's no reason that debate with J.D. Vance should have been that cordial.
Every time. This isn't a tough one, right? So my guess is he's setting the trap of when they don't do it. What happened, Elon? I am for cutting the military, and apparently you're not. What happened, Donald Trump? I was for this, and I would work with you, and you backed off of it, I guess. You stabbed the working class in the back. My guess is that's what Bernie's getting at here. Now, having said that, I gotta be honest, I'm kind of over this strategy, right? Because it didn't work in the past. And guess what? None of the people in MAGA, when Trump abandons the 10% cap on interest rates, when Elon and Vivek and Trump back off the Pentagon cuts and want to cut Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid and all the social safety net, MAGA's going to go right along with them. They're not going to care. All of a sudden, they'll pretend like they were never in favor of Pentagon cuts, and they'll pretend...
Yeah, true. Also, in Louisiana, the fact people there are okay with raising sales tax in order to cut corporate taxes and to cut top 1% taxes, they're going to raise sales tax. But I don't know if people understand what like a regressive or a progressive taxation system is. But that's a policy that's so anti-people. But I don't know if people can tell what's anti-them. It's hard, bro. It's hard. I don't know what people understand about policy. People understand heuristics and symbolism and like what policies mean to them, but they don't understand what the actual application does or how it functions. So I don't know what to say about things like that. When people vote so against their interest that it's startling.
And like they were never in favor of a 10% cap on interest rates. So they're just going to follow their dear leaders and shut their fucking mind off. And when Bernie's like, aha, I got you. You said this, but you believe that. They're not going to care. It's not going to matter. So what's a better way of handling it? Say it like it is, Bernie. Come out and say, they're lying. They're not going to cut the military budget. I guarantee you they're not going to cut the military budget. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. You are not going to cut the military budget. I guarantee. Elon Musk is one of the #1 subcontractors of the Pentagon. He gets massive subsidies. Fucking, of course he's not going to cut the military. What are you, crazy? This is all virtue signaling. This is all nonsense. Right? So, I understand what Bernie's trying to do, the call the bluff thing. But ultimately, it's going to come to naught. And if anything, you're just feeding the beast and pretending like these guys mean what they say. Right?
I'm completely okay with saying politics is corrupt to an extent. Different politicians have different levels of corruption versus being a public servant. I'm not okay with Donald Trump being the working class hero and being more corrupt than any other president in American history since Andrew Jackson. I'm not okay with Donald Trump being the symbol of working class populism when he's the opposite. That's my biggest issue here. If you want to get money out of politics, then cool, we can talk about those reforms. But Trump supporters never cared about money in politics or the elites. They cared about elites culturally. They did not care about economics. So when Elon Musk says he's going to use billions of dollars to take over the entire government, and he's going to use his billions of dollars to fund far-right UK campaigns as well, and he wants to establish like a world Elon Musk government, Trump supporters don't care that much, because as long as the liberals are being owned, as long as LGBT rights are being suppressed, as long as we're not talking about critical race theory or whatever other boogeyman, then Trump supporters are happy. If you think we need a left wing with liberals and progressives who do not alienate voters through purity testing, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. I believe we need more accessible messaging combined with sweeping policy that can truly transform this country and change this terrible political culture that we currently have.